I'm Luke McAvoy.
And I'm Tate Morris.
And you're listening to the Traffic Barrel Podcast.
I think you're wrong.
Oh, do you think that?
I think you're wrong.
Oh, do you think that?
I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong.
Oh, do you think that? Oh, do you think that? I'm your host, Luke McAvoy.
And I'm Tate Morris.
Hello, good friends. We are back. I missed last week. I pretty much just didn't get to it.
I missed it too.
Yeah, you've missed 3 now. So
I'm back.
Hi, look, he's
Hi.
back. Everybody, round of applause.
My car works now.
We don't have a studio audience, but we're clapping for him in our
cicadas.
hearts. Yeah, you can hear the cicadas and the lawnmower in the background probably, because we work with what we got, where we got. But yeah, Tate's back this week.
Yeah. I don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, this is one of our classic little things where I intentionally didn't tell Tate what we were talking about until I hit the record button. So yeah, Tate, what have you been up to? What have you been up to recently?
I was in Michigan for the 4th of July.
I'm sorry.
Now, it was nice up there. If anybody's watching at home, you'll know that it's almost August now.
Yep.
I was supposed to be up there for 3 days to get my car fixed.
That's true.
And one thing after another, apparently pretty much everything attached to my clutch in my car was either bent, cracked, just completely broken, or it melted.
Yep, all of those things.
So don't get a manual Kia Soul.
Probably
and
shouldn't
don't
do that. No.
drive it hundreds of miles or thousands of miles in a very short period of time.
Yeah.
It doesn't like that.
It doesn't like it. No. That being said, I was in it yesterday and it feels great now.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So,
as far as like a Kia Soul can be.
and that one cylinder's not misfiring anymore.
No. In fact, it's just fully firing.
Wow, it's just regular
It
firing.
wasn't misfiring for a while.
It just
was
wasn't
just
firing
not
at all.
working.
Yeah. And now everything's fine. And it's great. We went from the whole car jolts when you shift gears to not even noticing.
Yeah.
So, awesome.
Yeah, that's basically, I did that. Went fishing, caught nothing. Went kayaking.
Sucks.
Went camping in the Upper Peninsula, saw Tequamanon Falls,
Wow.
which apparently is the native word for root beer.
Root beer.
So it is literally root beer falls.
Root beer falls. Root beer drinks, actually.
That was really pretty.
Like my Baja Blast.
Saw plenty of bald eagles up there.
I used to have a bald eagle's nest in my backyard.
You've told me that before.
Yeah.
That would be really
I
cool.
haven't told the listeners, though.
Yeah.
I used to have a bald eagle's nest in my backyard, listeners.
Describe to the listeners what bald eagles look like.
So,
Some of them might not know.
imagine like a bird, right? Think of a bird. And then a bird, but it's like really tall. It's like a really tall bird, but not leg tall, regular tall.
Regular tall.
So
Yeah.
it's a tall bird, and it's a bald eagle, right? So it's actually a completely hairless tall bird.
Whole birds are hairless.
Yeah, it's a completely featherless tall bird.
Oh.
It's just bare skin. It's a feat of nature that it's able to fly. But somehow they make it work. I honestly couldn't tell you how they manage it, but God created things in really really crazy and creative ways. So bald eagles are still able to fly despite being completely featherless.
Yeah, they actually put on costumes whenever we have photo shoots for them to represent our country.
Those are American eagles.
You realize
What do you think
American
they named the
eagles are
genes
just
after?
bald eagles.
What do you think they named the genes after? American eagles.
No, those are named after falcons.
You're an idiot. He's been in Michigan for 3 weeks. He doesn't even know things anymore. He doesn't understand the way the world works now that he came back from Michigan. I mean, he didn't understand it before, but he doesn't get birds now. What a silly guy. Anyway, as previously stated, I'm trying to kind of hold my laptop over here.
I was trying to look anyway.
Because we have a very special game that we're going to play with Tate today.
We're playing a game?
Kind of.
Oh, no.
So you might be familiar. Probably not familiar is the wrong word. You might have heard a lot of the crazy words that kids these days are using from like TikTok and things like that.
No.
You might have heard a lot of those things. I know I have. And they're really fun to just use them ironically, right? So what we're going to do is I have a list of, I don't know, probably eight-ish words that like Gen Alpha is using on the internet. And I'm gonna say the word and you're gonna try to guess what those words mean.
Fun.
And then I will tell you the closest thing that I could find to a definition for each of those things. Yeah. So there's a couple on here that I think will be pretty easy. Like I started out with some pretty easy ones.
Easy ones. I like those.
Yeah, and then
something's wrong.
We'll just keep going. Excuse me, but
you can leave.
Yeah. So this is gonna be a pretty fun game. Now, here's the thing. I want you to understand.
Coffee for that.
I had to put effort into learning what these words mean, too.
Well, that's not fair. I don't know what you're talking about half the time.
Yeah. I've learned what these words mean mostly from Google or Matthew. And that's because Matthew would have Googled
I never know what Matthew's talking about.
Yeah, so...
It's not true. I love you, Matthew.
Anyway, so I guess let's just get started. This one, like I said, pretty easy. Sus. This one came from Gen Z more than Alpha.
Sus is short for suspicion.
Yep.
Or suspicious, and I'm pretty sure it comes from the stupid, terrible version of Mafia, really. That
You've never played Among Us, have you?
Among Us. That's
You've never played it, have you?
It's just Mafia.
No, it's not.
On a computer.
No, it's not. It's different. It's kind
Does
of
one
like
person get
based
assigned
on that type of thing. But
it's
you got to run around and do all your tasks. You're gonna get murdered, maybe. A murderer is running around while you're trying to do your tasks. If you do the tasks, the crew wins. If the murderer murders everybody, the crew does not win. There's other things to do besides just vote. You do vote.
So it's Mafia Plus, but without the actual like discourse that happens.
No, it does have the discourse because you do actually go do the vote. And
Not
everything.
intelligent discourse. If you're saying, "Hey, that guy looks sus."
Sussy baka.
If you ask, I don't want to know what that means. Don't ask.
I couldn't tell you, honestly. Okay. Yeah, no, Among Us was super fun. It still is super fun, honestly. I'll probably go back to it. Honestly, I'm going to get some people to play Among Us sometime soon.
I've had a bunch of people tell me, "Hey, you should play this with us." I was like, "I'll try it once." And then I haven't had to try it because nobody actually wants to play it. They like the idea.
It was really, really popular in like 20 and 21. And it's kind of faded out, but some people still play it. It's fun.
One of those games that like it exists for a short moment. People are like, "This is amazing," and then they realize it's based off of things that already exist and that those things are better. So they do those instead.
Nope, that's not what happened. You don't understand how the world works. My gosh. Okay, this one, another relatively easy one. Rizz.
I learned this one recently.
Yeah.
And it's stupid.
Okay.
So it's short for charisma.
Yeah, you're right.
But the way people use it indicates to me that they don't know what the word charisma means
Okay.
or how it should be used.
Okay.
Like I've heard people say, "Oh yeah, he's risen up that girl over there."
Yeah.
Like
It has been turned into a verb, an adjective,
which doesn't
a
really
noun.
make sense. It's
And
a trait.
so
Charisma is a trait which you have or don't have.
yeah, he's got rizz. He is the Rizzler, as they would say, which is a possessor of high charisma.
There's another word for that, which is called charismatic.
Rizzler. So this is actually this word has been used enough that it is in Webster's dictionary now. Rizz is in Webster's dictionary. The exact definition is a person's romantic appeal or charm. It is in the Merriam-Webster dictionary.
I hate the internet.
I love it. But yeah,
Just learn to speak with real words,
Or you
big
could-
boy words.
but see, they're just this is the thing about language is constantly changing.
Doesn't have to.
New words are being created. The
Change
meanings
isn't
of old
always
words are
good.
changing.
And this is one of those examples.
Yeah, language is in constant shift.
Like if you walked into a boardroom and said, "All right, we're trying to improve on the general public's perception of how much rizz we have."
Yeah, how much?
No
rizz.
one would take you seriously.
Depends on the
Not
company.
one person.
I mean, it depends on the company.
Yeah, I guess if the company is run by a bunch of 12-year-olds, they might actually understand what you're talking about. But the word charisma already exists. Why make a new version that means less? I don't see a reason for it.
It's fun.
I
I don't know. Half the words we use nowadays didn't exist in English 150 years ago. So, okay, not half, but language is constantly.
Well, I mean, like, there's a difference between like getting a new word to describe a thing that didn't exist before. Like, we
Well,
didn't
yeah.
have the internet or search engines thing, so that's understandable. But like, just coming up with words, like, what if somebody just decides I'm going to shorten the word engine? Yeah. If I went into an auto
to the shop and fix my gin, bro.
and a guy told me, yeah, I'm just gonna work on the ends for a bit. It's got some leaky valves instead of valves or something. And if he started talking like that, I would turn around and leave and go to a different auto shop. Like, if you don't sound professional, less people are going to give you business.
Kind of. Yeah, I guess.
Because you have to also
But,
sound like you know what you're talking
Like
about.
we got to think like 100 years ago, people weren't using the word cool in the way that we use the word cool. Because
That's true.
new words are created or existing words change meanings over time or develop new meanings. Because that's the beauty of language.
Right, but see, that was like a direct evolution. Like, people were like, okay, this is nice and comfortable over here. It is cool weather. And then they compared that, be like, yeah, that guy over there, he's really cool because he's not just like uncomfortable to be in. Like, that's how that word evolved.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just nobody sat there one day and went, yeah, that dude's cool.
Sounds like a made-up story to me. I think he's making up the origin of the word cool. Moving on.
The word already exists, though.
Okay. People shorten words all the time.
Cool is not one of those words. What
No,
would
but
they, what
you're
would
right.
they say?
Sorry, I understand how I got to what I said, but
That
not
man's
how
cool.
it didn't connect.
He's cool.
No, I mean like the word charisma shortened to rizz. People shorten words all the time.
There's no Z in it.
Okay, you want to spell it R-I-S?
No, I want you to say the whole
Rizz.
word.
Rizz.
Like, there are
You
already
got
words that say the thing that these people took from charisma
Uh-huh.
to make a new word just because, in my opinion, they weren't smart enough to understand that there are other words besides the 17 that they've learned on the internet.
That's a dumb way to look at it. It's really just fun to use those kind of words. colloquialized.
What's the third one, Lucas?
Phantom tax. Not phantom. Phantom. F-A-N-U-M. Phantom tax. This is more of a term than a word. Regardless of whether you have an actual answer or not, make
Okay.
some wild guess.
Yeah, let's think about this. All right, we're gonna break it down.
Okay.
You got fan,
Yes.
and I know that the word fandom exists.
Okay.
I am going to assume that this is more of people being stupid and saying, "You know what's shorter than fandom? Phantom."
A logical conclusion to make.
And so they're like, it's one less letter that we have to type out, so it's saving us time because we're stupid. And so a phantom tax is somebody who has a group of followers or a fandom getting to have like revenue coming from their fandom instead of just their fans, which is actually shorter.
Okay. You know, I can I understand the logic behind that. I guess it's a very well thought out
There's no
answer.
logic there.
So here's the thing. So phantom tax is the action of taking part of someone's food. Popularized by Twitch streamer Phantom when he walked into another streamer's room. Kai, I don't know if it's Senat or Kanat or whatever, but because I don't watch Twitch, walked into this other streamer's room and stole a plate of cookies and then left. And it was then called the phantom tax from then on.
But we already had terms like that, like a boyfriend tax or a girlfriend tax. Like that was already a thing that existed.
Yeah, now it's the phantom tax.
That just encompasses all of those.
Sure.
Or only specifically if you're a streamer.
It's the action. No, it's everyone. It's the act of taking part of someone's food.
That's just called
So like
theft.
if I get fries and you eat like 2 of my fries, it's the phantom tax.
That's the roommate tax.
Well, now it's the phantom tax.
Or it's me asking and then you give me fries.
Well, that's the origin of the term. I had to put in effort to figure out what the heck that meant. I heard people say it. I'm like, what is that? What do you mean?
There's not enough coffee in the world to deal with people that use these words.
This next one's gonna be entertaining. Ohio. What does Ohio mean?
Ohio is the filthy, disgusting sludge that fell off of God's hand when he took the time to make the perfect handprint of Michigan, and then sludge, the dirty filth that he thought was too bad to be near the wonderful handprint that he made of Michigan. And it became Indiana and Ohio. And then Ohio is the worst of the two because it's the armpit of America. And it stands for, obviously, hopelessly, infuriatingly, what word do I use? We're going to say obsolescent.
Wow.
Yep, that's what Ohio means.
That's some strong words considering you're talking about a swing
I'm
state.
sorry, Kendra.
Some strong words for talking about a swing state.
Listen,
it's also my
there are
home.
swings in Michigan too.
It's also my home. I hail from the land of Ohio. But that's actually
Yeah, I'm
not
from
what
God's
Ohio
land.
means. So
It's not?
no.
I thought I was so close.
No, not even a little bit. You want to take another guess? Beyond your opinion of the state of Ohio?
Is it something like internet related? Like
All of these are internet related.
I mean,
where
like-
do you think
like,
these
is
come
it- is it
from?
like-
It's Twitch and
no, I
TikTok.
mean like is it like I don't know.
Okay.
Is the word internet?
It's not an acronym.
It's not an acronym?
No, it's not an acronym.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you that.
Then Ohio is a state in the union. I don't recall exactly which one it is,
I don't either, but
but I know it's
founded
worse
in
than Michigan.
1813. I think it was 1813. Maybe it was 1803. It ends in a 3, and it was in the early 1800s.
No, I meant like which number of state.
Yeah,
it
I know,
was.
but I'm thinking of what year.
What year?
Yeah,
Ah,
I think it was 1813. I might be wrong.
I don't know.
I don't pay that much attention. It's on all the logos and stuff, but
All I remember is the war that we let them win for that strip of land.
yeah, let us win. You didn't want we wanted Toledo, and you wanted Toledo, and you lost. So, just like
We don't want
most
Toledo
years
now.
in football. So Ohio, it's a state of being unusual or strange. Basically, this came from.
You know, that is so remarkably fitting.
Yeah, so the way it came around is people would just start posting like strange images or pictures that they found in like Ohio or whatever, or even if they didn't, just for the bit, and then just caption it only in Ohio.
You know, that makes sense because
Yeah.
of the amount of pictures we've gotten from like your mom
I
or
know.
your dad.
Of just stupid things in Ohio. My dad sent me a picture one day of a Ford Focus with 2 sheep in the back. A Ford Focus hatchback with 2 sheep in the back
Like-
of the car.
Like full-sized live sheep.
Yeah. Like they were moving around in there. There were just 2 sheep in this Ford Focus
That's my
hatchback.
favorite picture.
I had an Amish buggy ride past my house blasting rap music from a boombox once.
What's that word again?
Boombox?
No, for the year that they get to take off.
Something along the lines of Rumspringa
Rumspringa.
or Rumspringa.
It's
One
a
of those
fun
2.
word.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful word.
it's interesting. Yeah,
It's a real word too.
Things happen in Ohio, man. But yeah, so Ohio is strange or unusual. Basically, is the way it's used by the kids. I wonder how much kids in Ohio actually use the term Ohio.
Well, to them it's just normal.
Probably true. You're probably right.
It's kind of like how people in Florida don't think they're weird,
But it's Florida.
but it's Ohio.
If any state could just be not in the U.S. anymore, I think it would be Florida.
No, we
I don't
kinda
want to
need
take
Florida.
credit for anything that Florida does anymore.
Well, we need Florida though. If we could get rid of any state realistically, it'd be something like Delaware.
I think it should be Florida.
I mean, there's some history
Because
there.
there's not
But
even
we don't
anything,
use it now.
There's nothing even good in Florida besides I guess Disney World's fun, but like what's there? Beaches? Beaches are the worst.
Well, there's a massive fishing industry there. It's like a big portion of fish that we get.
Bah. Go north.
It's a massive vacation spot. You know what's funny? So like people in like basically every state go to Florida for vacation.
I know it's stupid.
But then everybody likes
Go
to
somewhere
claim that
more
they hate
interesting.
Florida.
Florida's dumb. I
But-
wouldn't go to Florida for vacation.
Because they like to go to Florida because of like the weather. It's nice, sunny. You know where people in Florida go for vacation? By and large,
Where do they go?
Michigan.
I don't think that's true.
No,
I
it's
think
true.
a lot of people do, but I
No.
don't think it's like the place that they all
No,
go.
it really is. They go there for the skiing. For skiing, that's not like down sharp mountains because you don't have to be highly skilled to do the skiing there. They go there to experience winter because they can go in March and there'll
Yeah.
still be plenty of snow.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, if you have like just old couples that generally live in Florida,
Right.
they come to Michigan, and that's where they vacation. Like
Wow.
this is just a known thing. This isn't a quote unquote Tateism. This is just a thing that happens,
Wow.
and I think it's funny.
That is pretty funny. Some people who don't have snow want to see snow. People who don't have beach for some reason want to see beach, I guess.
And Michigan has both of them.
And lake beaches are much cooler than freaking ocean beaches. What's there? More wet? More sand? I'd rather go to a beach on like a lake. Heck, I'd rather go to a river because there's less sand there, and sand's the worst thing that God created. And he made mosquitoes.
So for those of you who don't know, Luke's not a fan of the beach
Sand is dumb.
or water.
It's everywhere.
Apparently.
Sand is so... No, I like water. I went swimming like 3 weeks
You
ago.
like boating?
Yeah, boating would be fun. You don't need an ocean for that. There are smaller bodies of
When'd you go
water. That's
swimming?
infinitely more interesting, huh?
Where'd you go swimming?
I had a pool with some friends a few weeks ago while you were gone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, it was nice. I
Lake swimming is more fun though.
don't know. I like pool swimming just 'cause it's cleaner. I don't mind lake swimming though. Like
Lake
river
swimming
swimming.
is great 'cause like if you go to the right place, you can't see the bottom. You can just dive and swim around.
I mean,
and
you can.
there's fish there.
Wow. See, I'd rather swim without fish than with
Just
fish.
try to catch the fish with your hands. It's fun.
No,
I've never successfully done it, but I have tried.
but it's fun to try, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what people call that?
What do they call it?
No, I'm asking. Like this is a
Oh.
small aside of Tate asking Luke questions.
No.
No.
No, I don't know what
You
they
know
call
what
it.
it's called when people try to go fishing with their
Is
hands?
it called fish grabbing?
Nope.
Hand fishing?
Nope. It's called noodling.
Oh, yeah, I did know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot.
That's a real
I've heard
word.
that before.
You want to show us another
Yeah,
real word?
another real word.
I'm gonna get this one.
Are you?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Based on the way that you're
Please give me the definition of skibidi. Please define skibidi for me.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you what it means, and if you
Great.
disagree with me, it just means that you're wrong because I'm older than you.
Oh, okay.
Skibidi is the first half of skibidi ip da boop da bop, which is a particular rhythm and melody devised by my good friends Alec Oldham and Tyler Kaufman, and they wrote it out, and it was on like multiple whiteboards throughout the pack for a good long while, and they recorded it, and they took pictures of it. So skibidi ip da boop da bop. It's just a shortened version of that because I guess your generation can't handle full, complete thoughts. You know.
Your generation, you say. You're from the same generation as me. These aren't even my words.
No one has to know that.
These aren't even my words that I'm telling you right now.
But they're words that you would use, especially now that you know them.
Exclusively, ironically, but I do use them at work all the time. I'll look at my friend Davis. I'll be like, I'm the Rizzler, skibidi no cap.
I hate that one. I know what no cap is because I lived with my little cousin for a while.
Yeah,
It's like no cap. It just means that you're telling the truth.
yeah, and cap means you're lying. Great, we'll skip that one because that was gonna be
Why?
after skibidi. But can you so that any other guesses for skibidi?
I wasn't wrong.
Okay. Well, the thing, so skibidi literally has no defined meaning. It can be used to mean good, evil, weird, bad, whatever. It's an adjective, it's a noun, it's a verb. It is a catch-all term that is pretty much meaningless. Skibidi.
All right, hold on. You're telling me
Yes.
this is a word
Yeah.
that is so meaningless, it defies definition because it has no ability to convey any actual meaning or thought.
Yes.
So it's not a word, it's a collection of letters that
Skibidi.
people write sometimes, but it means nothing.
Skibidi.
Words have meaning.
They say it, actually. I
Words-
mean, it means everything
But
and
no,
nothing.
words have meaning. And if it doesn't have a meaning, it can't be a word. It's just a sound. Not all sounds are words.
You know, maybe we're just too old to get it.
Like, no.
Maybe there is
Like-
a meaning that,
I said
like,
vroom. That's not a word. It's a sound.
okay, fair.
Skib
Yeah.
because it doesn't have a meaning.
Right. Vroom has a
Skibidi
meaning.
doesn't have a
It's
meaning.
the meaning of a car sound.
No. No.
He's drinking his coffee.
No.
Okay.
This isn't a meaning. It doesn't have a meaning. It's not a word. It's a sound. It's a sound.
Is it?
It's not a word. It's a sound.
We can hear it very loudly from this car that's driving by us.
Vroom. What is the meaning of vroom?
Vroom
Kids?
is in the in the dictionary. Make a roaring sound when traveling or running at high speed. The roaring sound of an engine or motor vehicle. Used to express or imitate the sound of an engine or to suggest speed or acceleration. From Oxford Languages.
I don't trust anything that Oxford says anymore.
Oh, there's Webster.
Like Webster, I think I still have some hope for, but Oxford,
Vroom, to
what are
operate a
you
motor
doing?
to operate a motor vehicle at high speed, or so as to create a great deal of engine noise.
Is it a noun or a verb?
Verb. According to Merriam-Webster. Somehow still alive after all these hundreds of years. Merriam-Webster never dies.
Well, that's because it's basically the standard in America.
I know. But, yeah, so room, technically a defined word. Anyway, we'll skip cap and no cap because clearly you know that one.
I want to know how that started, though. Do you know?
Vroom?
No. Cap and no cap. Like, why does no cap?
You know, I should have looked that one up. I'll Google it real quick. I'll see if I can find something.
Since apparently that's two of the words
let's
gone,
see.
we have time. Why?
Well, I had those in one category.
Oh, okay. I don't understand. Like, I tried to get my cousin to explain it to me. I don't understand.
Cap origin.
Captain America.
Let's see.
Put a cap on your head. I'm not wearing a hat, so I must be telling the truth.
Oh. Well, let's look at this. Let's look at this Reddit.
What does it mean?
Hold on. So
there's not enough coffee in the world.
Hold on. In the early 1990s, dictionary, according to dictionary.com, the word cap meant to brag or exaggerate. Let's see. Hold on.
What?
Is cap way older than I knew? This Reddit thread about it is from 3 years ago. And they're referencing
it's at least that many years old.
They're
because
referencing
my cousin lived with us like 3 or 4
the
years
80s
ago.
and 90s.
Those were before that, something 5 years ago.
Whoa.
I don't know.
They're like, I don't know. Let me see if I can find something besides Reddit.
Yeah, no, I have tremendous amounts of respect for anything on Reddit.
I know, yeah. Reddit's a really accurate place to get information.
Yeah, it's not just a bunch of crazy, stupid people with the occasional intelligent individual existing somewhere within the deep bowels of that wretched
Let's see, we're looking at the dictionary.com has an origin section. To cap about something is to brag, to exaggerate, or to lie about it. The meaning of cap dates back to the early 1900s. In the 1940s, according to Green's Dictionary of Slang, to cap is evidenced as slang meaning to surpass, connected to ritualized insults of capping, the 1960s. These terms appear to be rooted in the sense of cap as top or upper limit. So no cap has the sense of no lie, no joke, for real, or not bragging. It's popularized in 2017 when rappers Young Thug and Future released the track No Cap.
There we go. See, that makes more sense.
That's how it got popular on the internet. I didn't realize that the use of that terminology was that old, though. That's interesting.
I mean, that's like a stretch to say that it went from people talking about reaching the limit, because like that makes sense, being like you've reached the cap, that's the top, that's the end of it. It doesn't go any further.
Well, no, but it says specifically like using it to mean to brag or exaggerate or lie. That meaning of cap dates back to the early 1900s.
I thought that part you said was in the 90s.
No, that I just read that. To cap about something is to brag or exaggerate or to lie about it. This meaning of cap dates back to the early 1900s.
It was not used before recent times.
Dictionary.com, I trust more than Reddit. Whoops, I accidentally went back 2 pages.
Okay.
That's interesting.
That is.
Yeah,
now I have to look into
hold on, I'm going back to I'm on Webster's looking at it now. It's functioned as a verb in English since the 15th century. Let's see. Though often mistaken for new internet slang, capping or cappin has been used in African American English for decades and possibly much longer. Capping in hip hop in the mid 1980s, and the phrase high capping to the end of that decade. Okay.
So everyone has a different answer.
Well, I'm scrolling. Hold on. Green's Dictionary of Slang also includes several definitions for the verb cap. The meanings date from 1902 to 2014. And several Echo African American English meanings covered by Major and Smitherman: to brag about, to aggrandize, to lie. Yeah. Yep.
Didn't something
All the way
in
back
there
to
say
1902.
the 15th century?
It said it's been used as a verb since the 15th century. It didn't. It's not necessarily how. It's only giving modern examples of how it was used, but it says it has been used as a verb, not necessarily meaning that.
That would imply that it was a part of Old English.
Right. I don't know, but
we're gonna look into this more later.
yeah, in general, it looks like early 1900s is really when it started being used the way that it is now.
And it actually did kind of vaguely relate to hats.
Yeah. Yeah.
The more you know.
Crazy stuff.
I don't see how. Like, it was definitively, this is the limit, and now it's just no cap means you're telling the truth.
Yeah. I don't really know. We'll have to look into that more later. I did a little bit of. I put
We'll
a little bit of
we'll
effort
have
into
an
finding the
episode
origin of
that's
some of these words.
specifically about the etymology of words that we'll take turns of words we think are stupid.
Okay.
We should do that sometime.
Okay. Cool. We'll keep that on the list.
I am
Tate,
so remarkably excited by.
could
the
you please tell
laughter.
me what a gyatt is?
Say it again?
Gyatt. Gyatt.
That
Gyatt.
is a fundamental misunderstanding about what a medium to large sized recreational boating vessel is. And it's people that misunderstand how the letter Y works.
Hey, you should move your water
It's
bottle
a
from where it
yacht.
is right now.
I actually moved it there specifically,
Yeah, please
and I'm
don't.
not sure why.
Yeah, do not do that. It could spill, and that would be bad because that's my audio interface. Anyway,
It was a bad idea.
it's not that.
I think it is.
It's kind of funny how you're kind of in the world of the right answer, I guess.
It has to do with boats.
No, it actually doesn't have anything to do with boats. What a gyatt is it's a word for a large or attractive-looking backside. And yeah, so I didn't know what I had never heard this word before, right? Until last year at my family reunion when my cousin asked me if I had a gyatt. And I thought he said yacht, like the boat.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not rich. I don't have a
Lucas,
yacht.
do you have a yacht?
No,
You
I
don't
don't
have a
actually.
yacht.
No, I don't even have a car. So
You should-
I definitely
you got-
can't afford
you
a
got
yacht.
You got a cool motor scooter though.
I got a little moped.
Has like racing stripes on it.
It does. It's,
Got,
it's
racing
hilarious.
checkers.
It's really funny. Anyway, no, I don't have
That's cool.
a yacht. And then he said, no, not a yacht, a gyatt. And I'm like, what?
Like, you're saying it wrong. It's a boat.
I looked at him like, what
There's a wa-
what is that? And he's like, it means you have a big butt. And I'm like, what? And so this is when I was like, what the heck? What are all of these words that I'm not hearing? And then I started hearing more and more of these stupid words from the internet or
said
people
it.
who watch
He
the
said
internet.
it. He agreed. He said that they're
Yeah,
stupid.
they're stupid. That doesn't mean they're
Yeah.
not fun to use once
no,
in
it
a
means
while.
they should die.
But like what? I don't understand. But yeah, so that is a gyatt. We have
Stupid
I've
is
got-
a mean word, Mr. Cooper.
Mr. What? Are you
It's
referencing
from-
someone that no one else has seen like you
It's
usually
from the
do?
game plan. I watched it with my nieces while I was in Michigan. Have you ever seen that movie?
He was doing exactly what I said he was doing.
Yeah, you've never seen The Game Plan?
No.
It's a Dwayne Johnson movie
Okay.
from like back when we were kids. When you were
Yeah.
even more of a kid than I was.
The only Dwayne Johnson movie I ever watched as a
Don't tell
child
me the
was
Tooth
Tooth
Fairy.
Fairy.
This
Tooth
is
Fairy was a banger film.
this is the movie that was really good, and so they thought, hey, we're gonna make more Dwayne Johnson kid movies.
Okay.
And then they did Tooth Fairy.
Yeah.
And it was okay,
It's pretty funny.
but it did so poorly that Dwayne Johnson refused to come back for the second one.
And they got Larry
So
the
they got-
Cable Guy to do the second movie.
No, The Game Plan. He plays a like famous football player who finds
Yeah.
out that he has a daughter.
Yeah.
He finds out when she shows up on his doorstep and tells him that her mom is in Africa, and so he has to watch her for a
realistic
month.
story.
Yeah, well, it turns out her mom actually died,
Oh,
and so she went to meet her father that didn't
Oh.
know about her.
wow. That's
Yeah.
sad.
It was a good movie though
Good.
for a movie about football.
Yeah, because most things about football
Yeah.
aren't good.
Well, yeah,
Because football's kind of dumb, and
yeah.
for some reason America
Sorry,
has
Mom.
made it a center of their culture.
I'm so sorry, Mom.
It's like Americans are like, what if we just centered our entire existence around
What if
people
we played
throwing
rugby
a ball
wrong?
really far and catching it and then running a lot?
What if we played rugby wrong
I don't
and we're a
understand.
bunch of big sissies about it and having to put on armor and somehow still injuring ourselves when
Yeah.
rugby players do it all the time and are far more physical and never really
And then
get
what if we
injured?
paid these people millions of dollars?
Yeah, to play a game meant for children.
I don't understand. I hate the sports industry so much.
Baseball's okay.
No, it's not. Baseball's the most
Oh.
boring sport to watch.
What? You're thinking
It
of
takes
golf.
so long. It takes so long to play baseball.
No, it doesn't. You only
Yes,
do
it
9
does.
innings.
Yeah. 9.
Well, you get to stretch.
What?
After 7 innings, you get to stretch.
Okay.
You know nothing about baseball.
No.
It's a 7th inning stretch, man.
Okay.
You get to hit things.
The only
With a
kind of
bat.
interesting sport to watch is basketball because it's fast paced. And they have cool shoes. That's the only reason to watch. Like, I can get on board with basketball once in a while.
My name is
but
Lucas McAvoy, and I watch basketball for the shoes.
for cool sneakers. I don't.
Guys, so we're going to talk about
No,
this
no,
for
hold-
like
you
a
know-
real
you know what's-
split second. We
Yeah.
went to Dunham's yesterday to get
We
good
did.
coffee.
We went there. Yeah, they
Um,
sell our favorite coffee.
We literally went to Dunham's, a sporting goods store, to get coffee.
We did. We've done it
Because
before.
there's only 2 places in town that you can get this coffee.
2? What's the other one?
Well, I did find it once at the place that isn't what it was now. The store that's kind of Menards adjacent. It's like a giant Tractor Supply, the one behind Culver's. Not behind Steak and Shake.
It's not.
But they changed the
It
name
used
like
to be-
3
They
times.
changed the name like every 4 years because there's a few really rich guys who just pass it around to save
Yeah.
money on taxes. And so they just rebrand it, keep all the same stock.
Yeah, I don't
and
know what
change
it's called
owners.
now though. I can't think of it.
I don't know what it's called now. It was
like
R&P
R&P
6 months ago.
Yeah. I found it there one time, but I think it was a fluke.
Okay.
Like maybe they shipped the wrong one.
Yeah.
But you get this thing called Chainsaw Coffee from Black Rifle. It's fantastic. But we went there to get that.
Yep.
And Luke starts looking at the shoes
There was a clearance sale right at the front.
because, and I asked him, I'm like, "Oh, buddy, did you finally get down below the double digits? Because he has a lot of shoes."
I do have a lot of shoes.
And he said no.
yeah, no, I'm not below the double
No,
digits.
he has. How many pairs of shoes do you think?
Well, should I count? Okay, hold on.
Like, I'm told that I have a problem with the amount of knives that I buy. I'm
Yeah, because those are
pretty sure
significantly more expensive than the shoes that I have.
only some of them.
Most of them.
And overall, because you've bought so many, you've probably spent more money.
you
on those
underestimate.
shoes.
You underestimate the amount of money that I actually
No.
spend on
I know that
shoes.
you tend to
You
get
overestimate.
deals.
Yeah.
You don't pay the like $200
No.
for a stupid pair of sneakers like some people, like my first roommate in college did.
I would. If I found one that I liked well enough, I would do that.
Why would you pay that much money for something that you're afraid to get dirty?
Looks cool. There was a brief period in time where if I had, all the money in the world, I would have bought a $900 pair of sneakers. I wanted those off-white Jordan USCs. UNCs? I don't know. It's been 5 years since I looked at them.
You would pay. What color were they? You said off-white?
No, Off-White's the brand.
What color were the shoes?
White and light blue.
You would pay $900 for a pair of shoes that would be ruined if it rained.
But they said they're leather. They can be fine in water.
Yeah, but they're not going to be white anymore.
But they say Off-White on them.
Yeah, because it's not going to be white after one use.
No, Off-White was
if you sweat in it, if you drop
brand
sweat on it, if the temperature
by
changes,
Virgil Abloh, who died.
if a cat walks up and
People
throws
really
up
like it.
on you, if you step in dog poop,
It's
if you
kinda
trip,
just a
if you
streetwear
walk through the
cred thing.
grass, anything. It's no longer the color that it was when you bought
You
it.
pretty much
and
just
now
buy Off-White
it goes
stuff to
from
look
$900 to being worth what it's actually worth, which is maybe $50.
Nah, it's still worth more than that, even if they're
Buy
beat up.
brown shoes, kids. Live in Audi. If you're watching and you ask why I always get brown shoes, that's why. Because they stay brown. No matter what you do.
Yeah, but
It
they
looks
look
exactly the same.
But unfortunately, they look like brown shoes, which don't go with half of outfits.
It's the definition of practicality.
But practicality isn't as important when you're not.
Practicality
Unless
is
you're
far
going,
more important than appearance.
No, not
Listen,
if you're.
this is
maybe
lessons-
if you're going
This is
hiking.
lessons with, I'm addressing only my nieces now. This is lessons with Uncle Tate.
Look cool. That's okay.
Function over form. Every time.
Nope. Only if you need it.
Always.
Don't listen to him.
Zach
He's
can tell
wrong.
you what that means.
No.
Haley
You-
usually can.
You want things that look good
Haley,
too.
I love you.
You want things that look cool, and then you need things that can be really functional when you need them to be. Like me, I have a bunch of cool looking shoes, and then I have good waterproof work boots.
Nope. If you want cool, it has to also be functional.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
Needs to look cool. That's
Sorry,
important.
I found the table with my knee.
I noticed that. Yeah.
It kind of hurt.
The looks are what are important with a shoe. And then you have a shoe, like a good waterproof work boot that you can, or hiking boot that you can take hiking and stuff like that. But you don't need that for the day to day. Tate does because his ankles don't work.
I think, to be fair, I think I would buy. We've talked about this before. There's like one
yeah.
pair of sneakers, not even sneakers. I guess would you call them?
Converse?
Yeah, would you call Converse?
Converse are a
sneakers?
sneaker, yeah.
I would buy Converse because I like the
Yeah.
classic look of them.
They look nice.
They've been around forever.
They're a very versatile shoe, too. And wear
Well,
a lot of different outfits.
Not structurally. Structurally, they're virtually pieces of paper with really thin soles and shoelaces.
Really comfy. That's why I
But
wear
they
them.
offer no support,
Don't
no
need it to.
protection.
Don't need it to.
They're literally worthless as anything but a fashion accessory.
No,
But they look
They make
cool.
it so the bottom of my foot doesn't touch the ground.
Yeah, unless you step on a pebble more than a micrometer thick.
I'm still not touching it. There's still rubber between me and the ground. That's what
Not
a shoe is for.
long.
That's why, like, for, thousands of years, they only wore sandals because all they needed was something between the bottoms of their feet and the ground.
No, that's not why. It's because they didn't yet have the technology to make something which would last. They made sandals because it was cheap for them to make,
Listen,
and
if
everybody could make them.
If just a piece of something between my foot and the ground was good enough for Jesus, then it's good enough for me. So.
Well, Jesus liked the beach because he walked there all of the time. So.
He walked everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him. I bet he was super fit.
You should start walking every. He probably was.
Probably
I mean,
was.
He
I
was
mean,
a carpenter.
Yeah.
And back then, carpenters did so much more than work with wood. He was
Oh,
probably
yeah.
worked with stone.
Probably working with stone and
like
stuff.
Jesus
yeah.
was probably jacked.
He's probably ripped, man.
He was like
The one part of the typical depictions of white Jesus that's accurate is he's freaking ripped. He's not white, but he's freaking ripped.
He's probably like Dr. Lin ripped.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Dr. Lin was a piano. He's our piano professor in college. He still works at IWU, but the most like quiet. I wouldn't call him shy, but like really quiet, reserved
Gentle.
Asian
Gentle, yeah.
man that you'll ever meet. Fantastic guy. He was one of my favorite professors. But then,
Jacked.
But then if you saw him outside of school or if he was at the gym, you would realize that this man could crush your windpipe probably without touching you. Like, this man is unreasonably jacked.
It's
and you
great.
would never know it. Because he wears, like, I think he does it on purpose. He wears, like, loose-fitting dress shirts that hide the fact that he could tear anybody in the music division to pieces if he wanted to.
But then if you ever spoke to him, you'd know. You'd just be like, no.
He's so quiet and calm and supportive.
Such a nice
He's such
guy.
a nice guy.
Yeah.
I loved him.
But anyway, we have one more on the list.
Oh, no.
There's one more.
How much time we got?
That's a great question. Let me check Audacity real quick. I'm on the wrong tab. Oh, we're at 50 minutes right now. We've got
cool.
We've got some
like
time.
perfect.
Yeah, we're doing great.
Yeah. I'm gonna nail this one.
So, this one is going to be it's like a combo. It's like Sigma, or like Sigma male would be the term.
Sigma male.
Yes.
Well, an alpha male.
Yeah.
Would be someone who is essentially top dog.
Yeah.
They're in charge.
Yep.
They don't really answer anyone.
Right.
Beta males would be what's underneath that.
Yes.
And Sigma.
Sigma is approximately the
Greek
18th letter of the Greek alphabet.
Yeah. Down there. It's not Omega.
No.
But an Omega male could also just mean that, like, they've come to end everyone. I've actually heard that used that way once or twice.
Right.
So my assumption would be a Sigma male is someone who has absolutely no authority at all. They are so dramatically below everyone in society that basically they should just walk out into the woods and hope that a family of squirrels takes pity on them, because at least they could hold their own in a fight against a squirrel.
Yeah. So
without acorns. When they have acorns, all bets are off.
Yeah. So here's the thing: is that makes perfect logical sense.
What does it actually mean?
And realistically should be the correct use of that word. The way it's used is basically the same way as alpha male. Actually, it's like an independent man or a lone wolf. Yep. What you said makes sense.
Why?
I don't know.
Does Sigma mean something in the Greek that would make sense?
I don't think so. Let me, I've got a Google tab right here.
I'm also pulling one up.
Great. Let's see here. Origin. No, I don't want it from Urban Dictionary. Let's see. To describe a man who is popular, successful, but also independent and self-reliant. Known as lone wolves, and are said to be introverted, shun mainstream society, and are popular with women without actively engaging in social interaction.
Okay, so what I found...
The door just closed itself.
Yeah, our garage is haunted.
It is, yeah.
What I found is Sigma male is a slang term used in masculinist subcultures for a popular, successful, but highly independent and self-reliant man.
Yeah, that's what I just read.
Did you read the masculinist subculture part?
No, I think I skipped that part, sorry.
Oh, see, I thought that part was important.
Yeah,
because it also later says, has seen most of its usage by the same members of what is known as the manosphere, who use other Greek letters to form a social hierarchy.
Yes, they
hierarchy such as alpha male, beta male, and omega male.
So stupid.
The term has also been used to mock all of these labels used to categorize men.
Yeah.
What is an omega man?
What is
it
an
what I said
omega
it
man?
was?
Maybe. I know what Mega Man is. He's a Sega character in Super Smash Brothers these days. I don't really think they make Mega Man games anymore.
We're not going to talk about what that one means.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Don't Google it.
No.
Yeah.
This is a family show.
This is a family show. That's all that I had written down on the list.
You know,
How you feeling right now?
more annoyed with the internet and the way that it is than I was this morning.
Wow. Yep.
These are your people.
They're
Why-
not my I don't take credit for that. No.
I don't
If anything, this is the fault of the millennials. They're the ones raising
you know
these
what?
children.
This is the fault of the education system and millennials. Because kids are like, no, the only way that we can learn words is to go online and talk to all of the Twitch streamers and the TikTok whodunits and whatnots. And I can't.
Not the TikTok whodunits and whatnots.
Yep.
Oh,
I-
no.
Listen, society would be a better place if
Whodunits and whatnots. we need to put that on a
know what?
T-shirt. Whodunits and whatnots.
This is it. I blame the particle physicists. Because
What?
it was the particle physicists who were building things like the Large Hadron Collider and decided we need a way to be able to communicate and have all of this work together, and they created a web
Yep.
of interconnecting digital communication centers. And if you know what any of those words connecting means, they built the internet
Wow.
because they wanted to do more work with particle physicists across the world, and they were
Right.
like, well, we need to be able to talk to each other. And so realistically, it's all the particle physicists' fault. They ruined all of our lives by creating the internet. We should all go back to the Stone Age. Maybe not the Stone Age. I'm a big fan of like carbon steels in knives. So
Yeah.
like, okay, we're going to go back to like, I don't know, just any time realistically before the internet, and the world will be a better place.
The internet's so fun, though.
The internet can be fun, but I think it's used for more bad than good,
Well,
and it annoys my life more than it probably should,
that's true. It doesn't,
and
it doesn't
that's
annoy him a lot.
inconvenient to me.
Yeah, personally, it's annoying for
And
him.
we
Yeah.
don't need the internet to have this show continue.
Yes,
it could be a
that's-
radio show.
Oh my gosh! You know how big the radio industry would be if the internet wasn't existing?
It would be
Radio
absolutely booming.
Wasn't existing? That was a way to say that. Yeah, the radio industry would
Because
still
it
be
still
great.
exists somehow.
I don't understand how radio stations still function.
Well, because everybody that's older than us still exists. And
I don't
they-
know a lot of people older than us who still just use the radio.
Really.
Yeah, like at least people in, especially in like,
I mean, I've heard your parents
40s,
talk about
50s.
using the radio.
if they use radio, it's usually
Well, it's in the car.
they might just be clicking on K-Love because
right,
it's
but like
faster.
they do that. People
Or sat
still
radio.
people still listen to sports games on the radio.
that I'll never understand. Why would
Like-
you? I
like people
why would
in
you
their
wanna watch a
30s still
sports
do
game,
that.
let alone listen to a sports game? You're not even seeing it happen. I don't. Oh
Yeah.
gosh. I hate
And you have
sports
people
so
like my
much.
great uncle Dwayne. He loves baseball so much. I saw him while I was up in Michigan. He watches old baseball games. Like when there aren't new
Okay.
ones on, there is a channel which exists which plays games all the way back to like the 60s or 70s, whenever they were first televised.
Wow, that's a while ago.
He'll go back and watch games that he's already seen. He'll go back and watch games that I'm sure he was at.
Probably.
And so people like him keep that sort of thing alive. Or people like me, where I just generally like the older technology better because it's more, I don't know, it's more hands-on,
Yeah,
I guess
it's
is a
more
way to say it.
tactile.
It's tactile.
Yeah.
I like being able to pick up a record or a CD even, or even a cassette tape, versus just having my music play through my wireless headphones and going, yep, the music exists as long as I have signal.
Yeah.
As long as my headphones don't die.
Yeah.
As long as my phone isn't dead.
We'll do an episode about the music industry. And how internet culture has kind of devalued the music industry.
Yeah. And it's
I may participate
ruined
in it, but I don't agree
our
with it.
lives. Yeah, you're a terrible person for using Spotify. I'm
Yes,
just
you don't
kidding.
have a Spotify account.
I have a free one. I give them no money.
You don't use Amazon. You don't use Amazon Music, which is the same.
I don't
But a
use
worse
Amazon
app.
Music. I only used it while I worked for Amazon because I got it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
when that ran out, I just closed.
Don't you have a Prime account though?
Yeah. So you can use Amazon Music, but you can't pick like what order or anything is in.
Oh, you
You
just
have to
get
listen to it
access
random.
to the service.
Yeah.
I see.
Which is stupid. Which is why
yeah.
I just use my CDs now
Right.
because I can listen to it the way the artist intended, and not through some random garbage disposal of of a thought
Right.
that is. Let's listen to anything on random. If you're a person who exclusively listens to their music on shuffle,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so for me, like
you're a terrible person.
I'm an album person most of the time, so I listen straight through an album. People who listen to albums on shuffle, monsters.
That's what I mean. Like
If you make a playlist of a bunch of stuff, I do shuffle for that all the time.
if you like, yeah, if it's like a
Like,
playlist
that's a
you've
different
built,
experience.
That's different. If you're going, man, I really want to listen to the new 21 Pilots album, and you listen to it for the first time,
On shuffle.
let me just tell you, I can guarantee you, I promise you, I went back in time and brought him forward just to check. Hitler would listen to it that way.
Oh my gosh.
That's how terrible of a person you are for listening to an album for the first time on shuffle. Like,
we don't
there's-
exaggerate here.
No, never. I have never exaggerated in my life. And
Never.
this is life or death. If you
Yeah.
listen to an album the wrong way, you should be punished. Like capital punishment. Like
Whoa.
just
The capital?
go away. Yes.
Indianapolis?
By capital punishment, I mean you should have to go to your state capital, be put in stocks, and that people should throw tomatoes at you. I don't think you
Wow.
should die.
Just
The thought
We're just
crossed my
going
mind
back
once
to-
or twice.
we're just going back to
You're a terrible
putting
person
people
for
in
doing that.
stocks and
I don't care if we are related.
you know. Okay.
I don't care if you're the third roommate in
Not
this.
dramatic. Not dramatic.
Actually, I don't think
whatsoever.
Matthew does that.
Probably it wouldn't shock me, but I don't think he does.
You're the first time through. I
No,
would hope.
no. He'll listen straight through an album.
But also, if you just don't listen to music through albums at all, and you only listen to singles, you're also a terrible person.
I know so many. Well, okay, I don't think that. I think people who take music less seriously than we do that a lot, and that's fine.
No, it's
But-
not. It'd be like, man, I really love this new chapter by author that I really like. Oh, what book is it from? I don't know, but this chapter's pretty cool.
I don't think that argument makes sense.
It does.
No, it doesn't. Because you
Because
still
a good
listen.
album tells a story.
Because you still listen to individual songs from that album on a playlist or whatever. You'll still take songs out of that
After I've
out of
already
that album
heard it.
context. I mean, yeah, okay.
Like if it's a band
Trust
that
me,
I really like.
I don't like when people do that.
Well,
but
like-
I know plenty of people that do, and it's like it's fine. They take music a lot less seriously than we do.
And they're wrong.
You're wrong for doing what you like, and it's different
Yeah.
than what we like. And you can quote that from the Traffic Barrel podcast.
Yes, anybody that does anything differently or thinks anything differently or speaks differently than we do or wears different types of shoes or clothes than we do.
Yes.
You're all wrong. and
Yeah.
You're terrible people.
Which is why he's wrong.
Yeah. And that's why he's wrong.
Yeah.
'Cause no one's ever right, apparently. Everybody's wrong somewhere.
This is what we've established now. That's great.
Absolute nonsense.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we've reached about the end of our time for this episode for this week.
We sure have.
I'd like to point out before we do this outro that I also beat him in Rock Paper Scissors for a completely different game last night. He still can't win. I know that he won twice. He still sucks at Rock Paper Scissors because we've done. This is episode 11.
Well, it was a tie for a bit. Like, I won once, and then you won once.
Yeah, and then I won the last. That's how 2 out of 3 works.
I know, but I didn't get destroyed. I wasn't terrible. I did win
Which means
once.
you can't beat me.
I'll beat you today.
Okay,
Watch.
let's find out.
I have nothing planned for if I do, but we're going to see it.
On shoot.
On shoot.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay, come on.
I win.
He did the gun thing. He pointed a finger gun at me.
Okay, let's actually do
Oh boy. Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh.
I chose scissors both times, and you
I
just didn't
know.
pay enough attention. And
I paid attention.
You just
I
didn't
thought
think I
there's
chose
no
scissors
way
the
he's
second
gonna
time in a
do
row. Yeah.
scissors, so I
Yep.
did paper.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Ooh, double papers.
Five.
Woo.
Rock, paper, scissors,
shoot. Ooh, you got me. You got me. Okay. All right.
Ready?
Yep.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh, you did it.
Oh,
You did it. He did it.
You dirty who's terrible at rock, paper, scissors now?
Well, statistically, still you. Given that this is episode 11 and this is the third time you've done the outro.
Well, we didn't do it every time anyway.
Okay.
It was starting like the second or third episode, but who's counting?
I am the producer of this show. What do you got to say?
Well, I have to say that we learned a lot today here on the Traffic Barrel podcast. We learned that words don't have meaning, at least some of them don't. And the ones that do have meaning, well, it could apparently change at any time. So realistically, they're also meaningless. And I guess we should just all stop communicating. Realistically, we should go back to, like, I don't know, just generally existing without talking to each other.
We're talking caveman speak. Ugh.
I don't
Oonga
think that's
boonga.
what we would go back to. I think we learned that we all think different things about the way the world works and
It's
how we
true.
communicate, and how some of us think words are stupid because they are, and some of us think words aren't stupid because we are. And that's...
What?
And see you next week. Thanks for listening. Everybody have a great day.
Yep. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Oh, do you think that?
History started in 1776. Everything before that was a mistake.
Your words
And-
match your shirt.
Yeah.
The words you're saying match
Yeah,
the...
purely because we watched this. That's the only reason I changed into this.
I assumed that. Yeah, I kind of figured that was
I
what
was
going
just
on.
going to wear another one of those, like, hiking shirts.
Yeah.
But
But then we watched an episode of Parks and Rec. So you
we watched episode of Parks
the
and
little
Rec, and I
Sebastian.
walked into my room to grab a hiking shirt, and literally it was Parks and Rec, hiking shirt, Parks and Rec. I'm like,
Right.
wow, this is an obvious choice, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's not an obvious choice. It's unobvious, specifically.
I thought it
Unobvious.
was specifically obvious.
It's not. You're dumb.
Okay.